This is me, Agent Dave, aka Fanatical for Jesus. I'm gonna do part 5 of my story time series about my life. Um, yeah, it's becoming quite a series. Anyways, I know you guys been waiting for a while, and I apologize for that. But anyways, oh, by the way, if you wonder why it's so dark in here, it's because my cat Jade just had babies, and um, I realized I gotta keep the room dark because if there's too much light, she's gonna take her babies out of the box and go put them somewhere else. And I don't want her doing that. Um. Anyways, so what was I saying? Um. Oh shoot. Okay. Anyway, so I left off. I started the group home, and then I did a little rewind. I was talking about I was in Southern Peaks Regional Treatment Center. I had a conference, and they had me step out for a certain part. And I stepped out and I started listening. I was listening to their conversation through the door because I could still hear them talk. And I overheard them. They were talking about my mom, and they said that my mom had an episode, and she called 911, and she reported that no, she didn't call 911. She called, what did she do? She called the treatment center itself, and she was telling them stuff like the FBI is watching them because they're aware of the fact that they're abusing me, and so they have the FBI watching them. Helicopters are flying around and watching them and stuff. Like it was pretty sad, but it was almost as bad as the time I remember on Christmas Eve when I was still in foster care, and I was so excited to see my mom for the supervised visit. But when I went, I just saw my stepdad and my caseworker, and I was like, "What's going on?" And they told me that my mom was in jail, and I was like, "Why?" And they said because she went around Memorial Park and was posting like letters on people's car doors saying that Chins Up, the foster care agency I was in, was slitting my wrists and starving me and stuff. And people called the police on Chins Up, and they showed up, and my mom ended up getting arrested for false allegations. Um, that was pretty sad. I broke down crying when they told me that. Like I was in a depressed mode for the longest time. But anyway, so I don't know. Southern Peachtree Regional Treatment Center was definitely quite an interesting experience. Like I told you about the riots that happened there. I was in a couple fights there. I got in fights with the staff. I got restrained. I remember there was one time specifically. Like I don't remember why. I was in the OR room, the observation room, which was in the staff office. I don't remember exactly why I was in there. I just know the staff members would come in and they start talking to me, and I'll swing on one of them, punch them, and I'll get restrained, and they held me down on the ground. And then like they make me commit to safety, and I'll say yeah, and then they'll let me up, and I'll get up and swing on them again, and they restrain me. And this happened literally for 7 hours straight. It was like a new record at the treatment center. No one else there has been restrained constantly for 7 hours straight. But it was pretty bad, and at that time I just really didn't give a shit about anything, really, not even myself. But anyways, in the group home, like, yeah, I said I had my own room and everything, and then I remember I was going to GED classes to finish up. I was studying for the math, but then I remember when the group home director, Jimmy, him and his wife were the group home directors, Jimmy and Melissa. Melissa was a straight up bitch, but I understand now looking back on it, the only reason why she was like that, I mean, she was the type of person that was given tough love. She realized the only way to get through to us was to be a little bit tough on us. But I mean, there was times also where she could be really nice too. Jimmy was the one who was a nice guy. He had a soft heart and everything. I think, and I learned also that it was Jimmy's it was always Jimmy's goal to open up a group home because he was once in a group home when he was younger. So that was his dream. Melissa just kind of got dragged into it because she was married to him. But anyways, and there was a couple staff members that worked there too, and it wasn't an all bad experience. I mean, it was sometimes good, it was sometimes bad. But I got into a couple of disputes and fights with a couple of guys there over stupid shit. But I remember when I was going to the GED classes. At first, when I was going there by myself, things were great. I was studying, and then I went back to the group home. They picked me up, and they took me back. But then when Jimmy opened up this girls' group home, and I think it was like on the outskirts of Canyon, but I remember like one of the girls there, her name was Crystal. She was a Mexican girl. And I remember she would come and she would join me at the GD class, and we would talk and talk and talk the whole class. We'd go on smoke break, come back, we'd go on smoke break at the same time, and then we'd just talk and talk and talk. And then we would get in trouble for talking too much. The teacher would have to get on us about that. And then shortly after that, they got a new girl there named Rita. She was a black girl. And she came in and she joined us in GD class, and then we became like the Three Musketeers pretty much. We did everything together. And I mean, we got in trouble together. Like there was one time we went out on a smoke break, and Rita and Chris were talking how they needed sugar for the girls' group home. And I was like, well, I want to get something to eat anyway. So we walked down to the Hilltop Market, which we weren't supposed to do. We weren't even supposed to leave the GD class. So we walked down there into the Hilltop Market. We were in there walking around I was looking for something to eat. They were looking for sugar. Crystal picked up some hairpins, but she put them back. I saw her put them back. And then we freaking were about to leave, and one of the managers came out and started accusing Crystal of stealing hairpins. He told her to put the hairpins back. She was like, I don't have the hairpins. I put them back already. He started accusing her of lying, and then he threatened to call the police. Me and Rita went off on him. And then the police showed up, and the first thing they do is single me out, pull me outside. And they started talking to me, and then they asked for my name and birthday and all that other jazz. Looked my name up, and for some reason in their thing it still said I was on probation, even though I served my whole probation sentence in Southern Peaks Regional Treatment Center, because I was only on probation for 2 years, and I was in the treatment center for 2.5 years. I did my community service there and everything. And they're like, well, you're still on. This says you're still on probation. I was like, well, your computer's obviously wrong because I've been on probation. I've been off probation for a while now. And they said, well, anyways, like, just be careful. And they started lecturing me. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then they said, well, you guys are no longer allowed to be anywhere near Hilltop Market from now on. So we're like, fine, we don't want to be here anyways. And we walked back up to the GED class, and all of a sudden we saw not Jimmy, but one of the staff that works there. Jimmy and that staff were there, actually. Jimmy was pissed. And I remember when I went back, the staff dropped the girls off, took the girls back to their group home, and Jimmy took me back to mine. And he started lecturing me for like hours, it seemed like. And I was just like, just sitting there like, okay, whatever. And he was like, and you need to stop with that attitude and blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, whatever. All right, can I go to my room now? And the ironic thing is, I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video, but the ironic thing about that group home, by the way, was I was very, very anti-Christian, but that group home used to be a church, and literally above the door it was the imprint of where the cross used to be. And across the street was another church that had a huge cross. Like, it was really, really strange. But it pissed me off every time I saw those two crosses. I got really, really fucking agitated, or pissed off, I should say. But I remember one time I did something that I'm not really proud of. Particularly, I'm really ashamed of it. Hold on. Decline that call. I'm not trying to answer it. I'm in the middle of doing it. Okay. Anyways, like I was saying, it really pissed me off. But no, I did something that I'm not really proud of doing. I'm very, looking back on it, I'm ashamed. It was a dirtbag thing to do. But at the time, I didn't really give a shit about anybody, like I said. I remember there was this, like, kid there that was, like, kind of mentally retarded. And what I did was I decided it would be funny to see this kid snort crushed up bar soap. I mean, this other kid, Trey, we were both in on it. I told that kid, hey, I'll give you $1 if you snort this crushed up bar of soap. But Trey was like, yeah, I'll give you $1 too, because we received allowance there for doing chores once a week. And then when we got our allowance, they'll take us to the snack. Well, we called it the snack store. I forgot what it was actually called. But they would take us there right after we got our allowance, and depending on which level you were on, because there were 5 levels, and depending on which level you were on, determined how much you got for allowance. But anyways, and if you got points taken off for whatever reason, because they were also on a point system that as a certain amount of points determine what level you determined whether or not you advance in your levels. But it was a lot easier to advance in your levels there than it was in Southern Peaks. But anyways, if you got minus points, that affected how much allowance you got. But anyways, so I had some money. I offered to give the mentally challenged kid, not retarded, the mentally challenged kid, $1 if he snorted this crushed up bar of soap. Trey did the same thing. He offered him $1 too. So the kid snorted the crushed up bar of soap. And then we made an even thicker line, a bigger line of crushed up bar of soap. And I said, hey, I'll give you I'll give you $3 if you snort this now. Trey said, I'll give you $3 too. So the kid snorted the whole big fat ass line of crushed up bar of soap, and we thought it was the funniest thing ever. And then I had the crazy idea of making a big ass line of laundry soap for him to snort. So I made a big ass line of laundry soap, and I was like, hey, I'll give you $5 if you snort this. And Trey said, yeah, I'll give you $5 too. So the kid walked over, and he literally snorted. He didn't snort the whole line because it was really big, but he snorted half of it, and he started coughing and choking, and we busted up laughing. Hold on. Anyway, sorry, that was a text message from someone I tried calling earlier, and he didn't answer, but because he was busy, and now I'm busy. I've noticed that happens a lot. When I'm busy, no one else is busy, and when I'm not busy, it seems like the whole world is busy. But anyways, like I said, like we started cracking up laughing when he did that. We thought it was the funniest shit in the world, like. And then, what happened? Like, and then later on, we saw that his left eye was turning bright red, and we didn't know what the hell was going on. And we got a little bit nervous, and he went to Jimmy, and Jimmy asked what happened. He said everything, and Jimmy was fucking pissed. He was livid. And he started yelling at us. He said that we could have killed him, and we would go to prison if we did that, and blah, blah, that was really stupid of us to do, and blah, blah, and all this shit. But then again, we were just like, whatever, okay. But, there was another thing. What else? What else did I do there? I remember there was a staff member there named Rick. And he was a Christian, and I remember I freaking used to harass him. Like, I took his Bible out of his pocket one day, and I freaking threw it on the ground and stomped on it. I said, what are you going to do about it? And I freaking would push him around, and, like, yeah, I would lie to him. I'd ask him if he could give me some money so I could go so I could go, what was it, to go to the gas station and get a drink. So he gave me some money, and I go to the gas station and buy like a couple packs of cigarettes instead. Well then, what else did I do there? I don't remember. I don't know. It's so long ago. I don't remember everything. But anyways, I eventually was able to get out of the group home. I went to this apartment. It was through West Central, which West Central was where I went to see my psychiatrist, my therapist. It was like kind of like outpatient kind of thing, but West Central had an apartment complex called the Costin Apartments, and it was income based. So I went there, and it was pretty cool. I mean, but most of the people there were like elderly, like, and they were through West Central too. So they were they had mental illness too. But I mean, everybody there was pretty chill. And on Friday, one of the staff members from West Central would come see us, and we do like different things. They'll take us on field trips. We do arts and crafts or whatever. We'll do different activities. I didn't always go to that because I was like, yo, whatever. Sometimes I did, especially when they were going on field trips, because I was like, hey, it's time to get out of my apartment. But yeah, it was different. It was definitely an experience there too. I remember, um, it was pretty chill. I was still working at I was working at Pizza Madness at this time, and I was actually making all right money. Cause I was a dishwasher, buster, and a prep cook there. And so I was working every single day except on Sunday. So Like no, at the time no, I wasn't. Yeah, I was working like Monday through Sunday actually, and oh, I remember one of my neighbors was this one guy. He was a paper. He had a bunch of paper routes, and around this time I was actually talking to his daughter. His daughter named Christina. I was talking to her a lot, and oh, what happened? I found out through her that it was her stepdad that lived next door to me, and I found out from her that her stepdad had a whole bunch of paper routes and he was looking for help. So I talked to him and I said I'll help. I'll be willing to take a couple paper routes off of him. So I was like, hey, it could be extra cash. So yeah, he trained me and everything. I took two paper routes off of him, and they were easy routes, like cause it's two. I'm just and I just rode my. I had a bike at the time, and I just rode my bike through the both of the neighborhoods that delivered papers, and I mean it was cool. Except when during the winter time, it got really cold. But even then, like a couple of like everybody on my street was elderly, and a couple of the elderly people would invite me in, give me hot cocoa and stuff like that, and talk to me, and then I had to go because what it was, I would get the papers. What was it at like? I get it like maybe the papers. I would get them maybe at like around. Ah shoot, what was it? I think 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had to deliver them by 6 o'clock in the morning. So I was in a rush to deliver them, and sometimes Christina would help me out too, delivering the papers. And so me and her started dating too, and I remember we would talk on the phone all the time, like we were teenagers all over again. But she was pretty cool. And I remember what was it? Um, oh, then like there was one night though, I was working at Pizza Madness, and when I was the dishwasher there, I usually didn't get out of. I usually didn't clock out. I was the last one to clock out because I had to make sure everything was clean. I would wash all the restaurant dishes. I would wash the cook's dishes, the salad girl's dishes, pretty much everybody's. So I was always the last one to leave. I usually didn't leave till like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'd make sure I closed down and everything, and then I'd leave. But there was one night in particular, it was a Friday night. I got really busy for some reason, like literally 10 minutes before closing, the manager at the time. First off, the owner, Beth, hired this one guy to be a manager who knew absolutely nothing about the restaurant business. He was just her friend. That's why he got the job as manager. And nobody liked him because he was always going around telling people how to do their jobs and everything. And he was very, very aggravating. And I put up with him for like 3, 4 months after when he was a manager. And I remember this one particular Friday, he came back and told me what was it? He told me that like there was a party of 50 that just came in 10 minutes before we were about to close. So I was like, oh son of a bitch. And then 5 minutes before we were about to close, he just said a party 75 just came in and still counting. And there was like a huge line outside. I was like, oh man. I was freaking pissed. And I was just washing dishes, washing dishes, washing dishes, washing dishes.